this thing on. Try this. Yesterday, all day yesterday. I'm thinking maybe I was wrong the other day and I was just holding my finger over the microphone button, so I take it back. Well, maybe they weren't doing anything to fuck with my phone. I don't know. But then the possibility is that they probably were, because that's what they do. So I didn't go out for a walk yesterday, so I was gassed inside the house that I live in all day. I could smell it starting from quite early on. One of them would go out into the hallway and spray really strong perfume and then go back in their room. I don't know if they're managing to spray it in a specific place where there's a kind of vent or something connected to go directly into my space, or whether it's just the kind of toxicity of the really strong smell that they kind of want to sensitise me to. Because they kept doing it all day, and I kept, after a little while I started holding my nose. And they didn't like that either, so today on my walk, all the way on my walk, there's been constant smells, really strong perfume smells, gas smells. It's funny because I was in a town that's just down that way, called Arundel a few days ago, and as I was walking through the town, there's a guy on scaffolding. The scaffolding's one of their favourite things to use, As soon as I move into the area, everyone has fucking scaffolding up in their house, getting new windows and getting their walls rendered, etc. You certainly bring a lot of money to the area, that's for sure. But there was a guy on scaffolding in Arundel, and he was out, obviously outside on scaffolding, and he's sanding the windows, and you can understand you get a little bit of dust if you've done any sanding. I've done sanding myself in the past. You get a little bit of dust, but he wasn't using an electric sander. He was using just just hand sanding, and not just wearing a dust mask, like the little white dust mask that you'd use. This cunt was using a full-on gas mask. So I kind of had an idea, a little suspicion of what was going to be coming in my near future, because they like to do that. They like to put things in your present that they're going to use to fuck with you in the future, just kind of letting you know. I don't know whether they have to let you know, if it's kind of one of the rules of this. They'll let you know in a kind of indirect type way. But he certainly let me know. I seen him, and as soon as I went past, I looked back at it. I tend not to look back. I don't kind of give them any recognition that I'm paying attention to what it is that they're doing. See that noise and see how I looked. I wasn't even consciously aware that I was looking then until I caught a glimpse of myself in the camera looking. There was one of the videos that I made the other day. There was a bang in it, and you can see me stop and kind of my eyes widen, and I look. I had no conscious memory of that bang happening. That's what they do to you. They kind of get into your subconscious and make you perform certain actions. You're not even aware that you're doing it, because they're right into your fucking psyche. And all this is just kind of distraction to get more into your psyche, and to affect you more, to really, really program you more and control you more. That's what this whole program's about. So do the angles very well on this phone. It's affecting you, being able to affect you more and more. That's basically what they want to do. I'll be sitting sometimes in like a public place, like a library or something. Well, let me just tell you this first, actually, before I go on to that, if I get time. I get kind of sidetracked. I've thought about, having a kind of subject matter in mind, and occasionally I do. But then I find myself on my walk to somewhere quiet, fucking reasonably quiet. I try and film in reasonably quiet places, so I'm not totally distracted. It's a fine line, isn't it, between kind of immersing yourself and trying to get yourself past that block of not being affected by their madness, not letting them kind of distract you to the point where you forget where your head's at. But filming in the fucking chaos and like the main streets and the main road, I wouldn't be able to do that. It's too much for me. It's overwhelming, it overwhelms my brain, and they know that. Well, that's why they kind of come around me when I'm in, a kind of reasonably quiet place, because they know they can do certain things, and it will kind of distract me to a certain point. That's the key, isn't it? To try and get the little things to distract you to such a level that you're just never ever getting anything done. There's been a couple of personalised registrations. I can't be fucked with reading them out and telling you and giving these people the fucking validation that they want. I can't be bothered with it. They're just pricks, basically. They're just pricks. You all know that. What was I saying? Here we go, distraction. I need to fucking distract myself with my big fucking waffle on. Oh yeah, sorry. In my kind of earlier videos, I don't know if anyone remembers me saying, if anyone's kind of noticed, watched them long enough. If anyone has a long enough attention span to kind of pay attention for, even though I only get 15 minutes. I'll check the time actually. Even though I only get 15 minutes, that a lot of people don't have a very long attention span, do they? What was I going to say? Fuck's sake. I don't have a very long fucking attention span. No, you probably remember me saying, oh, sniff. I became really aware of it by listening to myself back, that I sniff, that I was going all the time, all the time. And as soon as I kind of said, as soon as I noticed that it was something that I was doing, because again, I was unconsciously aware that was a habit that I had. I had no idea that was something that I was doing until I listened to myself, and it was really, really apparent then. And so, I became conscious of it, and I thought I need to stop that, because it's fucking annoying. I didn't like what it was that I was doing. And it didn't take much effort for me to stop it, but then I noticed that there was other little tics that would come in, and I don't know if you pay attention, if you care to. You don't need to pay attention to it in my behaviour. You can pay attention to it probably in your own, because the same thing will be done to everyone. It's part of the program, it's part of the control. But then I started going, or like making these little kind of noises, having these little tics. And I thought that there's something behind that, and because I've said out loud, I need to stop that sniffing, it's really annoying. I probably should go back and watch the videos and see if there's anything, see if there's any kind of sound that I can hear, or a combination of things that they're doing, they're putting in the environment to then control that tic within me, because I'm damn sure that there is. It's like, I don't know what the combination it is. I mean, it could be one thing, or it could be a combination of two or three things that they do, that they use to get you to perform the act that they've kind of basically, I can't think of the word, they've basically kind of trained in you to do that action that they want you to do, so that you sound a certain way, So I don't know, it could be like, the wind noise, and then they make your eyes focus on something red, and then a dog barks, in the distance, but you're not consciously aware of it, and then you go, and you're trained, and it's just something that's been trained in you over time, and eventually you don't even become aware, you're not aware of the I'm using my hands too much, sorry, I start doing that as well. They like it when I do that, because then they can get me to trigger other people by using hand motions. I've noticed that other targets, when they make videos, they do it. They're kind of forced to do it so that they'll trigger people like people like me, people like you. But I don't think you're consciously aware of the things that they put in the environment to cause you to carry out these actions. And like I was going to say earlier, I've noticed it. Let me check the time. I've noticed it, and I don't even remember what time I started, so I don't know why I'm fucking checking this time. I don't know why I'm checking. I look stoned constantly. I'm just tired, I really am. I'm tired. Tired of fucking life, to be sure, but tired of fucking cunts in that house. Keeping me awake. It's all to get you to a certain point, isn't it? I know what that point is, and I'm doing my best to avoid it. I'm doing my best to try and kind of stay on top of my mood and where I am, and always knowing at the back of my head that that's what they're trying to do. So, just once you're aware, it's kind of slightly easier to, not react. Although the want or the desire to react is always kind of there. I would never stab one of them to death. I'm saying that now. I would never stab one of them to death, but if one of them did get stabbed to death, I certainly wouldn't be fucking crying about it, let me tell you that. But anyway, yeah, when I'm in a kind of public space, you know, like the library, for instance, I'll notice sometimes that I'll get a kind of feeling as though a sneeze is coming. And I won't sneeze, it won't be a strong enough feeling to make me sneeze. But within, 30 seconds of that happening to me, that feeling kind of coming to me, someone else sitting in the room will sneeze. And it's like they're putting something in the environment, whether it is a smell, because oftentimes I can't actually smell anything, or whether it's a sound that people have been programmed to see, and they're trying to see who's the kind of weakest within that group of people that are surrounding you at that moment. I don't mean weakest is a bad word. It's not a bad word, but it's the wrong word. I don't mean weakest. I mean kind of easily influence the person that they can affect the most within that group, and then they kind of know, or the AI, whatever the fuck it is, running this, knows who it is, because it's not just me who's being controlled. It's not just you who's being controlled. It's fucking everybody. Yeah, that's why they're bullying us, because we aren't so easily controlled. They want to be able to control us to more of an extent than they can, because we kind of see through the bullshit. So that needs to be fucking remedied. But they want to see who in that group of who that people are surrounding you is going to sneeze for this action that's carried out, and then they know that they can kind of use them, if you like. People talk about demons and kind of jumping into bodies and shape shifting, and it's got its place, right? It's not like I totally don't believe it, and it's not something that I'm kind of interested in, and it's not something that's relevant in the situation. But it's more a kind of, you start talking about demons, it alienates people, no pun intended, it does, it alienates people. But it's more like the kind of AI or the consciousness, if you think about it, that's running this planet, the evil being that's controlling everything on this planet, the MI6, the MI5, the CIA, the FBI. That's the fucking evil thing that's controlling this planet. But it's seeing who has the most ability, who they have the most ability to affect within that room, and then they'll do other things. I'll notice that person will get a phone call, and then it'll be someone talking to them on the phone, and then they'll say certain words. It's just interesting. I don't remember what time I started this, so I'm gonna have to end it, because I'm conscious of running over, and they kind of want me to do that as well. I've got a watch, but I don't wear it because I worry about I worry about it. But I'll leave that there, and I might make another video in a second. So take care. God bless you all. Lots of love. Bye bye. Never lets me end it. Never lets me end it. It's let me end it now. Oh, 88. It's my favourite number they use on me all the time. Anyway, take care. Bye bye.